Hi, YouTube. You missed my incredible insight, but here's Julia for you.
Don't fucking put it on me. Okay, anyways.
Oh, we
I
might have
generally
lost
really like
Manel,
this.
or she just turned off her camera. I can't tell. I think
Turned
she
off my
clicked. Oh, okay. Cool. Go
What
ahead.
the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god. People are driving crazy today. Anyways, okay. Overall, I really like this book. I didn't find it hard to read. Like I kind of got it immediately, so I was like, all right, cool, because it was so factual.
It
It was
was
just like
very,
straight to
very
the point.
factual. Yeah.
He said no emotions. I was like, all right, cool. This is what's happening. This is what happened. This is an account of that, and I appreciate it. There was no fluff. There was no, word count due. He got what he had to, like. He said what he had to say. And judging by like the age of this book, this pretty much to me reads like every other Alien book. So I'm assuming this is a blueprint for.
Probably.
I don't know how many fucking
I'm guessing so
countless
too.
movies I've seen where they come and
Right.
we don't know and they land and all this shit. So I'm like, this has to be the blueprint. So I really liked it because I do like alien movies like that. So I actually really enjoyed the book. I don't see, but the thing was like, it was an account, but it wasn't a story to me, and I think that's what I kind of
Sure.
fell short. I was like, okay, cool, like this is like a telling of events, and I appreciate it, but there was no, like judge, which is fine. I really did like it, so that's all I really have to say. I thought it was interesting. I really liked it. He got like fucking stuck with like the worst people possible in that journey, and then this book also did make me realize like, oh no, and I say this all the time, like if the end was coming, I would probably kill myself before anything. And that's not like okay to say, but I would not want to. Why would I want to live through that? Why would I want to do that? Like, no, absolutely not. I'll take myself out. I'm not giving an alien the satisfaction. So I appreciated this book in the sense that it was a blueprint for every other fucking alien book that I've ever like. Alien, yeah, that's all. But overall, it was decent. The words were, I felt like I needed a crumpet and a tea.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much it. Like I said, it was okay. I don't know why it's a classic though. And then I was thinking, are classics just old books? Like, what makes something a classic?
True. I don't know.
I guess books that just stand the test of time, right? I mean, obviously, in the 19th century, there would have been other authors
Sure.
heard of.
Right.
If
Yeah,
we
he
still
did.
care
So
about it today, then it's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably how it
and
goes.
that's what I thought too. And I was like, okay, well, it has to be a classic because that's where I feel like all the fucking alien movies come from. So it's a classic in the sense that it's like the OG alien story,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
Probably.
yeah,
If there was an even earlier take on
here
this on
too.
aliens, that would trip me out. This has to be the earliest account. I don't know, but yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Wait, so did he die or did he just lose his mind? Or none of the above?
I didn't think he died.
He didn't die, but he never found his wife again.
He did find his wife.
I thought he did find his wife.
Why was it like the last sentence like it'll be like me looking for my wife and my wife looking for me?
I think because he said something like we had both assumed each other dead.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
Yeah. I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah, and like honestly, I have to start talking faster. If I was stuck with that fucking, what was his name, Constitution, the guy with the C, I would have killed him.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That was horrible.
One, I'm either killing myself before it gets to that. Two, I'm gonna fucking survive to the end, and I would have thrown that motherfucker to the fucking alien. I would have created a diversion. Whoop! Here you go. I'm running this way. Absolutely not. I'm not putting up with that shit. No. If we're gonna fucking do this, we better do it right, bitch.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's
so
all.
Just like a minor note. Interestingly, now that I just saw the Tom Cruise one of the things that they did, I think just for like brevity, is he only shacked up with one guy, and his personality was basically a mix of the two, of the crazy Constitution guy or whatever the heck his name was, and then like the army guy, kind of like both, like where he was like crazy but also like sort of ground. It was interesting, but it was kind of cool that they did that.
Okay.
Interesting.
What you got?
Take it away, Manel.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, when I started reading this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. I've heard this story so many times. I'm like, geez, why
Right?
into the table? But then I realized I was being unfair because, like you guys mentioned, I think this was the first of its
Right.
kind. Like, obviously, during that time, they had people, I mean, humans going into space, but not speaking to us. So he was actually the first to kind of dabble with this sort of science fiction. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, if you're the first to do it, that is pretty cool. So it's not fair for me to like judge it based on Hollywood's version of aliens invading
Right.
Earth and whatnot. So once I changed my mindset, I was like, this is pretty cool. I mean, it was really unfair to like go on that line. So once the story started picking up, I was like, this is interesting. To me, it felt like you mentioned, it's an account of events, and it felt very realistic. Like if this actually happened,
Right.
this is how it would happen. It didn't have that Hollywood glamour, not glamour, but like Michael Bay explosions everywhere. So it didn't have that. So it was like a science book, exactly like you said. It felt like history. So it was pretty interesting. He did nail down the science bit. I mean, this guy was really ahead of his time, like how he spoke
Way
about
ahead.
like organisms, how they being slow because of gravity and stuff like that. I was like, huh, right?
Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
There were so many aspects where I'm like, how the hell do you know all of this stuff? Like,
Yeah,
I didn't get it. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
yeah. Another thing that irritated me was the fact that these aliens landed and like everyone was so unaware. But then again, that again was so unfair because they had news through word of mouth or the newspaper, like the radio. Like right now, we have social media. So if aliens landed right here in Rancho Cucamonga, I'll send a video to you guys,
Sure.
and aliens have that. But what did they have at the time? So yeah,
Nothing.
it was
Yeah,
interesting to.
there was even like they were like where he would get to different parts and they had a different account of what had happened so far because
Yeah,
And that's what I'm
that
saying.
was cool.
Can you imagine? Like that's exactly how what was like and you know what? That's why I'm gonna be conspiracist. That's why I really don't like when I think of history and they're like, oh, history, I think, well, history is just subjective. I mean, if you think
yeah,
about it, it's just retellings of what people knew at that time, and everybody has a different opinion on it. Like, none of things fucking factual if you really sit there and think about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I've always had weird thoughts about history, but this was like, imagine like you didn't fucking know. All of a sudden, you happen upon this town, and they're like aliens. When you had no knowledge of aliens, and you're like, "All right, dude, fucking
yeah,
lobotomy, please," because what the fuck are you talking about?
yeah.
Right.
Like, absolutely, you know
Right.
what I mean? So
And
interesting.
that was something that annoyed me too because the narrator, well, we don't know what his name is. We don't know what his like occupation is, other than the fact that
Yeah,
he's probably a writer. That much I gathered. So he seemed to be like an expert on aliens. So I was like, how? He's not a biologist or anything like that. So how does he know so much? But then again, I guess he was just using his brain. Like when he saw them moving slow, he deduced that, oh, it's because of our gravity, and these guys probably don't have as much as gravity or whatever up there. So I
Right.
guess he was smart that way, and he had like a very scientific mind, and that's why he was able to deduce most of this. But yeah, I would have liked to know whether he came from a background, but that mystery was also kind of interesting. But when he switched to his brother's POV, I was like, why? Why are we doing that? Just to like show us an expanded view of what's happening? I guess that was what I thought of, but it felt weird. Like suddenly we go to his brother's perspective and everything's happening in real time. And we know that nothing is happening in real time. So I was
Right.
like,
It seemed like all of that was just to create the scene of like the crazy like battleships, which was really cool.
yeah.
But I feel like
yeah,
he could have just explained that and that was it, and we could have just rid
yeah,
out the brother and it wouldn't have really mattered.
yeah,
I did appreciate his brother's POV. I thought it was interesting. I like the fact that like one insane thing was going on, and you got two perspectives of it. So I did like
Yeah, that's
appreciate it.
true.
Another thing is that this guy had incredible luck because people were dying left, right, and center.
Left and
Right.
right,
Right.
dropping like flies.
And
Yeah,
actually, Tom Cruise War of the World. They did that too. And in my mind, I remember when I first saw the movie, I thought that was kind of like dumb. And now that I've read the book, I guess like if you take all the tropes away and you realize this is like the very first account, you just sort of like if you're just logical, pretty much all of the survivors were very lucky. All of them
yeah,
have an insane story like this because everybody was dying. I mean, like the level of human destruction was crazy. Like it was kind of awesome how good they were at killing us. And so yeah, I'm sure all of them were lucky. And so his
Yeah.
story was probably one of many.
Yeah. Oh, the language I didn't mind too much because I still think that languages are being dumbed down. But I only know 2 languages, but I can attest that both the languages I know are just diminishing. So it's nice to
Sure.
see this is still being preserved, even if it's just in the classics. So yeah, that is my review. Thank you, YouTube.
What else was I gonna say? Oh, one of my notes that I thought there was like there's like a lot of interesting takes and tidbits. I like that he noted the fact that at no point did he see anything that resembled a wheel. Like they had gotten to their
Yeah.
point without ever getting a wheel, and so instead they made these like mechanized muscles. I thought that was super cool. And it would like make sense why they would have these giant tripods instead of like giant tanks or something like that. That was pretty sweet.
So what did the aliens look like in your guys' head?
They always looked like the movie to me because I at least had that ingrained in. But probably isn't very good for how the book was saying. I'm not really sure. Like
know.
both the tripods and the aliens themselves, I just was picturing from the movie.
Well, for me, it was like a tripod with the legs and like a huge bulbular head. So
Right.
like a jellyfish alien sort of creature.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
how I pictured it.
And that's how
It was a
that's how the movie
potato with
is.
metal arms in my head.
With little
they were doing this thing in the movie or like in the book. Did they ever did they ever mention like how they were draining the blood out of the people, or just that it was happening? Did
The
they like?
pipettes.
I thought
They
it was
did
like
with pipettes.
I thought it said something about the pipettes going, and that's how they fed themselves. But maybe that's also how they drained the human. I don't know.
Well, I think they had them in. I don't know.
Yeah, but at least
They had that guy in the cage, and then they saw him kill him. So maybe
yeah,
they just,
that's
like,
true.
bash him around and then.
Right. Well, they there was a big ass pipette for sure in the movie, and it was gross. Yeah. Alrighty, sweet. Moving on to bye YouTube. We love you.
Bye.
Short one.